Also need to that up, back, brush. Boom. Okay. Sorry.
Yep, it's showing you're live now. So that's good.
I have to re-log in to
Yep.
Eolas
Take your time.
because
Mm-hmm.
died.
Well, I mean, when your computer dies, I'm not surprised. So.
We need to select the highest roll of the dice, which is that one. And we need to launch.
Yep.
Thank you, lady. Appreciate you being here. Good to chat with you the other day. Hope you are well.
Wow. Lady's awesome. King J's awesome.
Everyone's awesome.
Silverwolf is awesome. Azrael's awesome. You're awesome. Everything is awesome. Wait. Then we have to start becoming blocks.
You mean we're not already? Right. Have that. Things in place. Sweet. So, we were just about to do our attack.
Yeah. We just talked about take cover off for him because it wouldn't be there, but if we need to, we'll put it back on for other people. You're a legend, King J. You're a legend.
This will be a snagging strike as per normal.
Yep.
Ooh. Because of the bodyguard.
Yep.
Miss.
Oof.
So, one action to get
Oh,
there.
it's only against one attack. So that's now expired.
Did you double check that? Bodyguard's defense.
It says it expired. I need to look at it. It says it expired, though.
Selects one creature they can see, gains +2 as long as they're adjacent and can act the bonus lasts until the start of the bodyguard's next turn.
Okay. So it says expired, but it hasn't yet. Interesting. Yep, it's all good.
Then as his last action then, I guess he turns to
all good, lady.
Bodyguard and goes, well, if you're going to stand there, I'm going to hit you. And then we'll try and do that. Although it's going to be difficult because multiple attack penalties suck.
Yep. At least his AC is only 16 instead of... Still too much.
Still too much. So... But he's in position. He's ready.
Yep.
Furball.
He's at least there as a threat. They can't just ignore him.
Right. That's the point.
So seeing the guy duck behind cover and Skewer go for this guy, he's like, oh, so Skewer wants me to go for that guy. So he'll target him. Please.
Oh. By 7. Blech. Thank you, Dice. We love you. We love you, Dice. They're going to be the best dice we've ever seen, DM. They are going to be the best dice. We're just getting the bad dice out at the start of the session, and from now on, they're only.
Did you watch? Oh, you should have watched last night. Bad dice are my thing.
You're the next Will Wheaton, I guess.
Well, no, the problem is sometimes they roll great, other times they roll terrible, and sometimes they just choose to stay under half the whole time. So it's not Will Wheaton where he rolls ones all the time, just under half.
All right, so you've made a couple of shots. Did he move at all?
Yep.
All right.
He's
so
like, I must need a better vantage point. I cannot hit anything from here. I guess I'll move.
bodyguard is going to target Skewer. Make a strike.
Should make you roll, then it'll actually hit.
Oh. And is just going to erect.
At least bodyguard's rolling like me.
Just going to erect bodyguard's defense again. So there it is again. That's his job. Get between any strikes and the boss. Cultist didn't like Marigold bring that spoon in, and I'm not sure I can move the spoon.
No, this. Oh, yeah, Marigold is there. She didn't bring the spoon in.
Yeah, so the cultist
Where do you want the spoon moved?
is going to move to Marigold, please, and try and hit her.
So there?
Yes, please. So we are sustaining. Well,
ladies watching a football game, are any of us surprised?
Nope.
No.
You can when you cast, each time you sustain, you can move the weapon to a new target within range and strike with it. So that's what's going to happen. Oop. That's a hit. And Marigold will take 3 points of frost damage. You
Not too bad.
Mind applying that one for us.
Yep.
And then, given that sustain is just one action,
is he going to go short bow? Is he going to...
Just having a look.
Spike gauntlet.
We, I think, are going to cast Calm. Cast.
The single action or double action variant?
It's going to be the
double
single.
Would mean you can't. Okay.
And so we are going to have Fortitude save. You are?
Do you want to click it so you can pass? Or not? Do you want to hero point that?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's a good idea. We're going to hero point that. Try again here. No. No.
Why? Why, Dice? Why?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Yep. So we're gonna roll damage. Oh! Jesus.
Just enough to take me.
Oh no, that's doubled. Because he critically failed the check.
Oh, yeah.
So, bloop. And despite what it says, he isn't dead. He's very,
dying.
very, very hurt. I'm dying too, because it was a result of a critical failure against harm. And what everyone else will see is the cultist just bend down, gather up ice and snow, and just stuff it into Skewer's mouth, and Skewer just turns into an icicle right there and there. turns a brighter shade of blue than he already is. Deeper shade of blue. So that's
Why
not
do you
good.
guys hate us?
And then, because that was only one action, is gonna cast shield. Wow. Wow. Spellcasters are bullshit. Marigold. Oh.
So I can place it to avoid skewer.
Marigold. Yeah. Wish she could just get that little bit further. Maybe she comes back so that she can get there in the next round.
What is she trying to do?
I wanted to get to here or here, but she's not going to be able to do it this round. So maybe what we do
We could have Peter carry her.
is get to there.
With me, Marigold.
We are going to cast Protect a Tree. Where do we think the best place for Protect a Tree is, please? Where Peter might move to
Does
or
it
next
work
to?
against? Does it work against the spiritual weapon?
It will, yeah.
Then I'll just have Peter stay there, and he can do his thing from there.
Can he reach from there?
Yeah.
Can. Okay. Then Protect a Tree.
Because they're within 30 foot.
Protect a Tree will go there. So she's moved and she's cast Protect a Tree. Let me press the cast button on that. Done. Which is all that she can do this
Peter
round.
can't heal, so he has no reason to try to do so because it won't help.
Yeah, unfortunately, like Marigold just can't get there. One. Or
Yep.
that's what it is. Peter?
So first off, Peter's going to ask the two of them to have to roll a save.
All right. So
It's a 30-foot line, and they are exactly 30 foot from him.
if it's a
So skewer won't
line,
get hit.
is it a 5-foot line?
It says a line.
Yeah, if it's a line, it's only going to hit one of them.
You can't hit both with a line by going in the middle.
If you were here, you could.
Okay, I didn't know it'd only be 1 5-foot square because when I drew it out, it was
Just check it.
staggering and went between two squares if you did it down the
Shoots from
center.
you in a straight line. Affects each creature whose space it overlaps.
So if you did it in the middle between the two, does that mean it hits both? Or
Well, you can't. It like
okay.
You can't say that you target the middle of a square. I don't think.
Okay. We can go with that for now, and we can always look at it later. It's
If we want to overrule that, it's fine. We can just overrule it. It's fine. Let's do it. Let's just say it. We're gonna have that be against us as well, so it's fine.
Yeah,
so,
and we'll double check it for next time too.
We're going to.
So the two of them would need to make that save.
Well, that's a fail. And that's a normal
Bodyguard
success.
succeeds.
So it'll be a basic save,
So,
though. Yeah, it's a basic save, so the
So,
bodyguard will take half damage.
yep. A
Bodyguard.
creature that critically fails, which is what I was hoping for, would have gotten clumsy 1. Of course, he does terrible on the damage.
Yeah, it's but still damage.
Yep. And then he'll fling an extra chunk of stone at the that guy. And why did you say if that hit or missed?
It'll hit.
That hits. He's targeted, that's why I was puzzled. And of course, 2 more damage. All right, that's his turn. He has no healing capabilities, so he couldn't heal Skewer.
Yep. Let's make a recovery check, everyone.
Come on, Skewer.
Oh, so we go to dying 3. We're in trouble. He could die.
That's why I'm wishing I had the plant right now, because then Peter could have healed him.
All right, Thurball.
Oh. Thurbold doesn't have battle medicine.
No, Marigold will get in there. It's all right. But if she fails, like he's just dead, I think. And he can pass his check.
I cannot roll tonight.
Oh, you roll, you just roll badly.
I meant succeed. I can't succeed any rules.
There you go. Ooh, that's
he actually did some. There we go.
So that's on the bodyguard.
Yeah.
God is now injured. Not like that. Okay.
Come and get me, stinky face. You don't know how to do things. Thurbold can outsmart you, stinky guard man.
Well, bodyguard doesn't really have a choice anymore. We are going to stop the bodyguard's defense. The bodyguard is going to move. Because the person behind, who was a threat, is now on the ground dying. Movement. Bodyguard have 25.
25.
Here.
Oh, your stinky face. You don't have any capabilities. Oh, hello.
He's like, "You keep talking."
Your mama would like me to hear me purr. Ah, I was hoping he'd miss.
Ooh.
Ow.
You shut your face. Alright, so that's the bodyguard's turn.
This is definitely a severe encounter. Ow.
Yep. I mean, this is the boss fight, right? Like, it happens. Cultist. Let's have a look. Cultist do. Cultist will concentrate or keep sustaining the weapon, which will target Peter. There. So Oh, that back. Nope. Peter
You
will
can't him, you stinky man.
not do that. Okay. And then we'll thrust a daze at third ball. Basic will save there for you, third ball.
Their ball does not like the attention now.
No. He got a bit too gabby. Oh, he succeeds. Nice. So it is a basic, so it'll be half damage. So oh,
So
just
1 damage.
1 damage. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then that will be that. Marigold is going to move up to Skewer.
Enjoy the alert, King J.
I do not have the cantrip stabilize. So this technically, if I critically fail and critically fail twice, let's not do that. Let's critically succeed at our medicine check.
I need to get those channel points that you have in there so people can give you an extra hero point because that's what you need
Ooh,
right now.
we got a success, so that's something. 2d8. 6. Well, he's not gonna die. So we're going to heal him. 6. He is going to be wounded 1. So we're going to take away his dying condition. He wounded 1. So we moved. We battle medicined. We have a
One more
single
action.
action.
Does she want to try to move out of the way, or does she want to
She's going to
throw the curtain
cast
full
Wilding.
size?
She's going to cast Wilding Word on the cultist.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, do it. Do it. That's perfect. All right. So we'll save on that one.
Yeah.
Please roll for me like you have been. Terrible.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this encounter's dice is not like it. It's the
Why
encounter's
does it hate me
fine.
so much?
It's just that we're rolling
Dice.
so badly. All right. Well, she critically succeeds. So, or he critically succeeds. So Marigold's turn is done. Peter, this is not going well.
Mm.
But Skewer is not dying right now, so that's the good news. Peter.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. He doesn't have anything that his kinetic or his kinetic aura does. You can get that later on where your aura can cause things. I was just checking.
Yeah.
Because if it
We
was, it'd
have
make sense to get in melee
yeah.
and
Well,
make it
so
useful.
your strike does do something different in melee. You not only because you add both modifiers, you add your strength and your constitution modifier to damage in melee.
Oh.
So when you do
I didn't
your
realize
when you do your is it the
the
elemental
kinesthetic. Yeah, the
kinesthetic?
elemental
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
smack.
So in at
Well,
range, you just add the strength and or just add the con or whichever one it is, and then in melee you add the strength and the con to the damage. Yeah.
Okay, so it would make sense to go into melee. Thank you
Welcome.
for helping me learn how to do this right.
What we're here for,
I've never played it before. I don't know what I'm doing.
right?
All right, so should he go for bodyguard or for cultist? I initially was thinking cultist to help deal with that.
I think he sees Thurball in trouble, honestly. Like, Marigold's gotten Skewer up. Yes, they're in trouble, but if we can get the bodyguard out, that means that there's one less person to deal with. I think that that's
Okay.
probably the play, and like get Thurball out of trouble. I think because that really hurt Thurball. Nice. So you will do
I needed
damage.
that.
I don't know.
+8 damage.
Yeah, I don't know that it will auto calculate it, but we'll have a look.
Yeah, it does. It has the +8. I rolled a 6, +8, +3. It should be +8.
Yeah, so it has an auto. It has an auto done it.
Okay. Well, it's odd because when I click damage, it has the 1d8 +8. Oh, so it's 3. Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
is it only strength that it adds, or does it add strength and con to
Strength
damage?
and con for melee. So it'll be an extra
Okay.
3 or 4.
4.
So let's do
So
the
it'd be
damage
7.
that it is. And let's do an extra 4, which will be enough. Just with the 4 extra damage. Look at this. Look at this, chat. He's on 4 health.
Literally 4. And just so they can see, just a minute. I'm just showing my chat. We have, look right here, +4 con that wasn't calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly 4 health.
Exactly 4 health. So what does this look like, DM, as he slaps his...
As he walks up, his fist just like coats over in solid metal.
Hmm.
And then he just like, and the guy just goes launching 5 foot back and just limps over.
I love... Yeah.
Leave friend alone.
Yeah. Kineticist can really hurt. Especially in melee.
That is, I cannot believe that he literally did the exact amount.
That's fantastic.
Oh. With how the dice have been treating me, that was recompense a little bit.
That was.
All right, that's all he can do.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. My spleen is much more relieved now. Skewer.
Okay. Alright, Skewer. Feeling pretty rough. He will get up. Prone. He will battle medicine himself, or try. He hasn't done that. He normal medicined himself. He will try to battle medicine himself, fortifying himself against it. See. That is just enough. Just enough to roll 2d8. Oh, that's good healing. That's good healing. Alright, so we We'll make sure ourselves is targeted. Boom. Alright, he binds his own wounds in combat right next to the cultist. He's like, grabs his spear, and he's like, well, you made that hurt, but you ain't seen nothing yet. And he's going to.
I got the one down over here. Skewer that one. She needs a good piercing.
Alright.
Straight through her gullet. Nice.
Okay. That's Thurball's turn, please.
I feel much better now that I not getting clobbered more. I will try to help a little. Yes. Since someone's in melee, does he get his sneak attack? Or not?
Well, he would have done. Skewer would have done his special snagging strike. So yes, it is off guard. So we need to target. So it's whenever I hit with that.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. I just was. I'm trying to verify
but it's not
things.
automatic. They have to be off
Right.
guard for that to work. But it is off guard because of Skewer.
Here we go. Good job, Skewer.
Yeah. So he can only do it on one attack every round, the snagging strike. Oops. But still pretty good.
Why is it not doing sneak attack damage? Oh, there it is. It's off. I can turn it on. Now it's on.
Okay. That's good damage. I can apply that. And a bit more wounded, which is good.
We need to take him down.
Definitely do. Fortunately, that's not gonna do it.
You smell like a stinky cheese. Your friend here smells like he's been eating you too much. You need to learn to wash yourself better.
Okay. Test.
Well, that didn't work. So that means critical failure. You take the same penalty to enemies would. So he takes it instead.
Yep. Bit rough. Okay. So, the cultist is going to target themselves and cast heal.
They're not allowed to do that. Joking. We don't want to allow them to do that, but it is what they would do.
Heal. There we go. For perfect dice as well, because of course. And then we'll target Skewer and try and make him regret his actions. Warrior's regret. So Skewer needs
Skewer.
a will save.
Skewer, Skewer, come on, chat.
Skewer.
Chant for Skewer.
Oh! Yes! He's like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, you're not gonna like it.
Oh, man. Skewer regrets nothing. I live in the moment and I enjoy it. I never regret.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Marigold.
That's perfect. Oh, he didn't sustain.
Didn't sustain. Bye-bye. Well picked up, sir.
Huh? I'm paying attention.
Marigold doesn't really want to be where she is. I wonder why. Gonna
Because it
move.
hurts.
Okay.
You're not behaving well.
He gonna cast. Her. So, it's frightened 1. Better than nothing. Frightened 1. That reduces armor class
Oof.
to
Yeah.
everything.
Frightened
Marigold.
1.
Yeah, so what happens
That helps.
as she channels this
She
toward
looks at him and cackles or something.
cultists? Well, no, she just a single mote of flame just hovers over towards the cultist, sits right between the cultist's eyes, and just flares. You hear a creepy voice from the depths of.
I will not be forgotten.
Right? Yes.
I thought you'd like that.
Yes. That's her turn.
That was brilliant.
Because that we got to bring that up at some point. So yeah,
Oh, I know.
creepy voice.
That's if you notice, I went right for it. I went right for it when you said it. I knew exactly where we were going.
Yeah. Right.
Hello, little person. I think you've caused too many problems in life. Let me show you what we do with problems, yes?
See, now this encounter has totally changed. Now that we were able to take the other one out, get up. Yeah. Oh, you hit. Oh, good.
I figured out what happened last time. I didn't toggle on the 2-action blast. The 2-action blast, it
Ah.
says, is where you get the
Oh,
bonus.
right. Yeah, I
You
might have
don't
been
for
wrong.
single action.
All right,
Okay,
I
and I
was
had to take
wrong,
2
but
actions
you
to
had
move
the
there.
2 actions to do anyway.
I don't this time. But it's good to know for the future. I did still do melee because that gives me still that +3.
Yeah,
So that still helps.
yeah. Still extra damage.
Yep. So Stone Fist just clobbers her. Gook. You have caused too many problems. Actually, since I had the movement, I'm going to have him go there so that it's actually a clear shot for Thurbold. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
realistically, Thurbold would have issues hitting.
All right.
Mechanic wise in the game, it doesn't say that, but
Nagging strike. Oh,
oof.
only misses. He is going to then, instead of attacking, make an athletics check. Try and grab.
Nice.
See what it is. And guess
That's
what?
16. That hit.
Literally because of the
Yep.
fear, we are gonna grab hold of them. Grabbed. So that's 2
That's great.
actions.
Yep.
Then not in range to do any other battle medicine.
I need to check something before you do anything else, though. Okay, yeah, it's still there. We're good. The shield effect was still showing, but it said expired because she didn't do it last time. So I just want to make sure it was gone from the
Right.
AC calculation, and it
He
was.
tries to intimidate the cultist that he has in his arms, but the cultist is having none of it. He's like, well, yeah, your mother is your mother.
She looks just like you, dear.
And he can't really get his quip out. Just like Thurball. And I think that tells us something about this cultist, perhaps. Like, our quips and our intimidation and stuff are not, like, hitting. So we might be informing that. So Thurball?
So Thurbold's going to move up so he can be within range to support if needed. And go for a shot. He's going to need some more arrows soon. I have a feeling we could probably get some here. And that was a miss. And he's going to try another quip.
Okay.
I thought your mother was frosty, but then I realized she's not frosty. She's spicy hot. Oops. Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, like, the cultist is having none of it. Just none of it. This is like, yeah.
I would add to the narrative about just how much the cultist is like, what?
All right, gonna target Skewer. But this is a spell, and so grabbed means a flat check.
Flat 5. Yep. Right. Flat 5.
Flat 5. Beats.
A.
And is going to cast Command. That's
No.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Come on, Skewer. Come on, Skewer. Resist.
yeah.
Resist, Skewer.
Nope.
Ah.
All right. Let's them go. But that's its whole, nearly its whole turn. So no longer grabbed. So
Actually, it'd be on his turn, based on what the spell says. It says
okay.
on your turn.
Okay.
That does make a difference.
It does. Thank you.
So that's why I wanted to mention it. And it means that Skewer will lose all his actions because he critically failed.
Oh, fantastic.
So he has to gently set her down very nicely and release her for 3 actions.
And then gonna target Peter with final action, which also has to pass a flat check.
It's the other reason I mentioned it. Gah. Of course, they roll well.
Basic fortitude save, please.
Scheiße. Please.
Oh,
Hey.
but it's not a crit, so it takes
Nope,
half
it's half.
damage. And because it is this one, oh, it's still gonna be good damage. So you'll take half of 14. Still pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Because that was the second rank spell version.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Marigold. Oh, dearie. You are surrounded. Ah. And it seems that my patron has made her appearance, so I think you should probably give up, dearie, before things get so much worse for you.
Write my name in her blood, Marigold. Write my name in her blood.
Target. And we're gonna do.
Marigold has a very, very peaceful, happy, cheerful Fae as her patron.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah, let's say that.
I mean, that's a good hit.
Yeah. Bit of
Decent
damage.
damage.
And
One more action.
cast Wilding Word. Get you to make that will save as well, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh.
So that means you become sickened if she damages Marigold.
Perfect.
He has a -2 against Marigold. Peter.
I do not like how this is going. This must end.
It's been a
I
good
am going
encounter
to
though, like been up and down and backward and forward.
punch
That's
it
how
as
a boss fight should go. So
Yeah.
oh yeah. Has
Not a
that
crit.
taken?
Uh-oh.
No, let's double check. So 19, 7. He's flanked, so yes, it will.
That will be a crit.
Yeah. Doesn't it hasn't taken it into consideration? Oh no,
No, it didn't.
17. 17 it has. Okay. It has taken it into
Okay, so it
consideration.
did.
Yeah, so 17. Yeah, so
Off guard by 2, yeah.
yeah.
One off, chat. One off from a crit.
I just want to yeah. Yeah. Okay. Is what it is. So close. Still 9 points of damage. Ow! That hurts. Badly injured now, this
You
leader
need
of
to
the.
stop being problem. It is not okay. Oh.
Not quite.
Oh, that hurts. Just missed. Skewer has to gently set her down and smile at her.
Yeah, and will. So, goodbye to Grabbed. Goodbye to Frightened because she had her turn. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean to cause you any offense. Um, it's just that, well, you were hurting my allies, and well, I thought. Devil.
Thirbold is going to switch Veshems. He's going to move to Sarah. Because he's like, we need to get this over with. And I'm running out of arrows.
Oh.
I'm going to hero point that.
All right.
We need to get this done. We need to get this done.
That's better.
Oh.
Nice. That's what you needed.
Why?
With sneak attack.
Why does the cultist have 18 AC now? Oh, fear.
Took away fear. Yeah.
Yep. Sneak attack.
Ooh. Surely.
Going down.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Her turn.
Not doing so hot. Cast shield. And run away. Which way do we like? That way is sort of guarded.
I mean, does she want to go into camp where people hate her? Try to get out of camp, which is by us?
Well, she's gonna try and get to her allies. There are still
she could
allies.
try to squeeze through here.
We're gonna go this way.
She can't squeeze through here because that would be a really, really big squeeze if she wants to try to go down this way. So either she has to leave camp or loop up around and go through here.
And 2. So shield, and then 2 movements to there. Marigold.
Okay.
It's going to move 8.
And Caesar. Marigold. Save the day.
Sorry, we're just going to have to do...
I like the idea that Mab is telling her to write the name in her blood because it's a enemy cultist, right? She wants her name remembered, not these other names. So I could see her really being jealous of any cultists, right?
Oof. It's gonna do it.
Mab wants it. Mab wants it. Oh.
So what's gonna happen is the cultist will freeze where they are. Their armor and clothing will just be completely ripped off, and all down the chest, all down the back, cut into the flesh, is one name.
In writing that none of us can read, because it's actually in Fae, I think.
Yeah.
It's the actual patron using her power to write on them. Blood script. Oh, that's so morbid and so good.
Yeah. And then that area, it won't, the blood will boil and turn into soil in her in his flesh. So it's now written in soil. All right. So with that, good encounter. Holy balls. End that encounter.
Marigold, what kind of demented, twisted patron do you have?
Right. So let's bring the cultist over here. Let's bring the bodyguard over here. So we can loot those bodies. And I want you to do this because there's some stuff on there for you, well, for us, that you should point out, because I'm the one that put it there and you don't know about it. Go ahead.
So Spike Gauntlet?
Sure. Yeah, you can talk all about that.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Definitely what I mean.
Deployable ballistic cover? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty good. Oh, you meant the composite short bow?
absolutely.
Thurbold would probably not mind having that.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it doesn't give him any bonus right now because he has no strength, but he doesn't mind the arrows, that's for sure. Sleep arrow.
Mm. Mm.
That'll be fun. Unusual object, sibling coin. What's this?
So, as a non-GM, you wouldn't be able to see that it says sibling coin. GM, you're able to see that they do not
Unusual
know.
object.
Yeah, so it is a coin that you
Unusual
can see.
coin. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Scale mail. I'll put that in storage. Spiked gauntlet. What is that exactly?
It's a unarmed type weapon, so you put it on to do brawling damage.
Don't know who would put that on. The skewer wants it. Gives him an extra weapon. Is that something skewer would wear?
I don't think so, but he appreciates the thought.
Okay. Great club. Sap. Studded leather armor. Does Marigold or Skewer need armor of the studded armor or scale mail variety?
We can look
deployable
at
cover?
that later. Someone should have the deployable cover for sure, because it's excellent.
Yes. I'm just wondering who we should put it on.
Probably one of the bigger
Put it on
guys.
Thurbold, and he can do it with Marigold, or we can
Yeah.
put it on someone else.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't encumber him.
That's the only concern. How much does it weigh? It won't quite encumber him.
Okay. Sweet.
Which is good.
Yeah. It makes sense that he would have it to, like, either hide behind himself or.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some cool stuff there.
Yeah. Scale mail, I don't know. I think Skewer already has something on.
I have
Get into that.
chainmail.
Chain. So chain is Dex 4, Dex cap 1, armor check 2. Scale mail is AC 3, Dex mod 2. So
Well, my
it would
dex
actually
is 1.
lower your AC by 1 to use it.
Yeah. He actually prefers like freedom. Like I'm not sure he'll ever wear heavy armor, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, which scale mail isn't heavy; it's still medium. But
yeah, we'll see what we
I know
find.
what you mean. Do we need? Does Marigold have armor?
No, and she can't wear armor.
She has no proficiency. Just unarmored.
She might have light armor. Let's see. So.
Defense. Untrained in all armor.
Yep.
Trained and unarmored. So
Yep.
no, she doesn't.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. Like spellcasters, yeah.
Yep. Dex 2 for Thurbold, and he has. I didn't give him armor.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
I thought I'd given him armor.
That's an interesting choice.
I had thought I'd given him armor.
That's probably a good idea. just between you and me.
Yeah. No, I thought I had. So I'm gonna give him. Probably should give him studded. That's gonna up his AC better.
Studded doesn't have the strength for studded, so it will slow him down.
What strength does he need?
Studded 12.
You need 12? I don't see that on it. It doesn't seem to be causing him any speed reduction when he's wearing it.
Speed penalty. Oh, the speed penalty is none. It requires the strength, so it will impede in the other areas. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Ooh, what do we got? We've got a
Bits.
cheer.
15 bits. Lucky bits.
So much. Yeah, so it will reduce his dexterity things like acrobatics, and yes, so you'll see that acrobatics goes down by 1.
Okay. Then yeah, he shouldn't do that because we need him to succeed at that.
I think even stealth and thievery will go down by 1 if you wear it.
Yep. So he'll go with padded then, so he gets a little bit, but
Yeah.
doesn't have that
Padded
disadvantage.
is fine, and leather, not studded leather. Alright, so we've looted these things. We've taken all their belongings. Good. And we did see that the boss was making their way towards the east, presumably to meet up with others.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think she was going for help to the east. We should investigate. What do you think, Marigold?
Well, dearie, are looking a little beaten up, but the more that we can help these people, I think the better it will be. What we need to do now, before we go on, is have a random roll. This random roll is going to determine whether a certain hidden person has succeeded in their
let's hope not.
In their duty. So
What do you want? A D.
I'm wondering how we want to do that. Maybe it's a flat check? What do you think? Like a 10 flat check? Just say it's even? They're very capable. I'll say that. So an even check makes sense.
You want to do like you did the Kingdom events checks?
Each round?
Where it gets more and more likely every time we check?
Sure. So 16?
16 up. They succeed.
Oh.
Nope,
so,
not yet.
But they have time. Our characters don't know that that's happening.
The time is on their side.
And we do hear the voices of two voices talking to one another, coming from this direction. Yeah, they seem to be talking about the duty of guarding the tent of the leader, who they call Running Bear. We would have heard the leader's name, the leader of Soveza's name, Running Bear, so that is familiar to us. Sounds like they are guarding Running Bear's tent. And you also hear them say, Oh, he'll be out for a while. He's not gonna be able to escape. He's fascinated.
Yeah, it's troubling. I do think we can get through this direction if we want to go through the tents instead of go all the way around the campsite. Do we want to squeeze through or do we want to go around?
I think if we keep close to the tent, we might be able to sneak up on him. What do you?
That is what I was thinking. I do not know if Peter can sneak, though. I think he might be a bit loud. Oi, that's not nice. I'm not loud. I'm just big.
All right. Well, let's at least make the check. It's definitely not something that Skewer's good at.
I think
Oh.
Therbald would kind of sneak ahead a little bit since he's usually not bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I can try be quiet.
Yeah.
He's quieter than Skewer. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. That doesn't even pass the standard DC at this level.
Nope.
So
So they'll hear us coming.
they're definitely gonna hear us coming. Wait, do you hear that? Yeah, I hear
What's our
that.
order going through?
Skewer's definitely up front and personal. Marigold probably wants to be middle. Get. She's gonna send Visa up here. Visa
Yep.
won't see
Visa.
inside.
Yeah, she's counted as in, but there should be. How do we set height?
I wouldn't worry about it. Don't.
Okay.
All right, this is the last encounter, unless we discover what's happening in the other tent, which is unlikely, but possible, I guess.
Right. Okay.
All right. So we are sneaking forward. We know that they've heard us, so we're gonna do another encounter here. Do we want to have our break and then do that, or do we want to do the encounter
Sure.
and then take our break?
Either way, it's up to you. Whichever works better for you. Because this is your kind of midday. I want to be more concerned with your timing because this is around the time you do meals and everything and have to check on things. So whichever works better for you, I'm good with.
Yeah, let's take a break now then. For a few minutes. I won't be long. We'll be back very shortly with the second half, which will be probably handing the asses to these guys and finishing us off
We hope.
with. But we'll see. Sometimes encounters
Yep.
go the opposite way to what you think. Um, but we'll be back very, very, very soon with the second half.
See you all in Come back to this thing.
Alright, we are back. Our characters have tried to sneak very unsuccessfully.
I can sneak.
Shh.
Like, I can see you. I'm hiding. Intimidate check. Critical success. Alright, I can't see you.
Oh, I can't see anything.
What creature? I didn't see anyone. No. So we're gonna roll the initiative.
That would be a fun build.
Oh yeah.
The stealthy barbarian. How do they stealth? They make everyone think they didn't see him. You didn't see me. I was never here. Nope, I didn't see a thing.
Yeah, there's actually a Minotaur feature which is something like if you were hidden and then you reveal yourself, the character is frightened.
I didn't see that one. That's cool.
Yeah.
I saw one that you could bump by people and not cause any problems. So you can move through your teammates' spaces.
Alright, so looks like Thurbal has grasp on the initiative here.
It sounds like they heard us. The jig is up. Be cautious, friends. Ooh, I think I see one. I'm glad I switched back to my bow as they have range. You know, it is wise to make good choices in your endeavors. Oh, however, he is just out of range from here. I should have moved one closer.
That would be
Yeah, that's fine.
distance. Yeah, it would be actually 5 closer. I think I will shoot him with the bow.
I think that's gonna work.
Oh, I think I will hit him with the bow. Does this sneak attack since he's not gone or not? Since
Yes, he has not acted, so it does sneak attack. Have the surprise attack feature.
Excellent. I wanted to make sure.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
good.
that is
damage.
amazing damage. Beautiful.
Ooh, that really hurts it.
I think I hit him with my arrow. I think I shall try to hit him with the arrow again. To pierce his stomach.
Oh, I think he might be dead. Let's see it. It is sneak attack again with a critical.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It's still.
Oh, I didn't. I think it only sneak attack once per turn.
No. It's as long as everything's in line. Oh, Jesus! So describe what happens, because that is a lot of
Thunderbolt's
damage.
like, I think I hit him with my arrow. The guy turns around and is like, oi, that hit me in the knee.
Right in the eye. Yeah.
And Thunderbolt's like, I think I may have made them go quiet. I'm not sure. We should investigate further at a later point. 32 points of damage.
That would have killed him from full.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's yep.
That's Thunderbolt's turn.
Uh-huh. I am going to check the will of this character. I feel like that might be, you know what?
They're just talking and
He's
his
up
friend
for
just
it.
disappeared.
He's up for it. He's like, what the hell? So stupid as it is,
They're just talking. His friend's like, "Hey, my knee."
25.
Yeah, I'll go check. I'll go try that on.
Oh, hello, friend. Would you like to see my arrows?
He's gonna try and toss a dagger.
Oh, I do hope you miss, friend. I do not want to get skewered by you. That's skewer's job to skewer things.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep. Thanks to that range penalty, exactly
Yep.
what it needed to not hit because of the range penalty. If it did not have a range penalty, then that would have
I would
hit
have
you.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
3+1 matters. -1 and
Absolutely.
alright, so he moves up. Does the thing.
That was a problem.
Yeah, and we are difficult terrain. Not sure. You want to just.
How's this gonna?
Well, what you could do is just wait. Like, you can delay your whole turn. Like, just gonna
Okay.
go later.
So just drop him in initiative order till after skewer.
Yeah. Oh, and then he can get through.
Bloop.
There you go.
Oh, and then we gotta go. Marigold's turn.
Marigold.
Because yeah, he's not. It won't work for him to get through there. He's gonna have to squeeze through there.
Oh. Go here. That. Range of anything that I want to cast.
Put that on.
Let's do Flashing Cast.
I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, and I hate this feeling because you're gonna sneeze feeling for a bit.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Sure.
Good job, Marigold.
So we're gonna double that.
Yep.
Double.
Double.
He's already badly injured as wind strikes up, slashing into his eyes.
Write my name.
Skewer. He's just gonna go here. 2 movements.
I like the idea as he moves up, he sees the blood from this guy spill on the ground, and like it's turning to like soil as he looks at it as he goes to stab the guy. That's just hits. Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh wait, that means he's off guard.
Sure does. So, damage and off guard.
There you go.
Sweet. He's near death and off guard. Peter?
Excuse me a moment while I squeeze through.
I think he might regret his decisions, though. Like, we'll see.
So he's kind of like squeezing there, not inside the tent, kind of like up against the tent. Kind of
Yeah,
cuts
and we're
that
not
corner
going to
a little.
use squeezing rules for this because the tent is malleable.
Yeah. He could have knocked the tent in a bit, but he's trying to be nice and not knock their stuff around and not just shove Marigold out of the way.
All right,
Not
so
that mean.
seeing this guy near
Just
death.
range. It was a tighter squeeze than I thought it would be. I am not as small I wonder if I should have made choices to be smaller in life.
I'm not sure whether that's how it works.
Oh, it doesn't. As a chunk of rock flies past.
Meanwhile, this guy's like pissing his pants. He should not have walked
Boulder
there.
flies by his face.
He's regretting his decisions.
I shouldn't have joined the army.
Thurbal, you can see that this guy is lost his cool at this point, but it's up to you how you want to act. You muted.
Friend, you should not have come. He shoots him in the knee to disable him. Hobnobble. Hob him. Whatever you call it. What do you call it when you shoot him in the leg so they can't run or do anything?
Hobble.
Hobble. Hobble. That's what I was going for. He's going for hobble.
Well, you hit. So technically, normally, we can't do non-lethal at range, but we will narrative rule over that.
I'm gonna say we'll give him not sneak attack because it's not doing that. But if he rolls 4 or higher on the damage, then the guy he misses and hits a vital organ, and the guy bleeds out instead of hitting him where he intends.
All right. Well, you need to do 3 damage to kill him. Normally,
Yeah.
So
if
you
it's
just need
3,
to do
then
7.
he's crippled. If he does 4,
Okay.
nope, he missed. He hit the artery in the leg, and the guy falls over.
Okay, so he is hobbled, which no, he's not going to take.
Well, no. I said if he rolls a 4 up, he misses his mark and kills the guy.
So he's going to kill him.
Disabling him. Yeah. So it was a 50-50 shot, right? Because he was already injured. He was already in a rough spot. He's never tried it before. So he was trying to hobble him so he doesn't get away, but failed and accidentally killed the guy. Well, that is not how I intended that to go. I need to work on my aim.
Can you do a flat d20, please, to see if Mr. Assassin has miss? Oh, so still not. So we might actually eventually have something there in a minute. All right.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? It's that narrative device is building. Like, if it was a movie, like you'd have this subtle background music starting to grow, right? As you know, we don't know what it is. We don't know what's going on, but we know there's something by the music. But what is it? We gotta find it, but we don't know where it's at. Right?
So we make our way around and we see a cairn of rocks that has been erected recently, sitting outside Running Bear's tent, emanating a foul aura.
Can we detect the aura?
Well, we're going to have to make saves against it.
Okay.
It will be will saves. Is fine.
I was just wondering that. There she is.
Oh.
She was cuddling up to Thurbold for his warmth.
Oh, dearie, you're so warm and fuzzy.
Fine.
Dear Marigold, it's not a personal space, you know.
So
I
can
need some
you
distance.
save for Peter and
Yep. What kind?
the will save? 17 is the DC, so Marigold only just succeeded.
That's not good.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen, Thurball. You are fascinated by this can. You can have a bit of a read of that by mousing over it. Everyone else has managed to.
You're compelled to focus your attention on something, distracting you from everything else around you. You take -2 to perception. Awesome.
Yeah. Basically, like, you have to spend time, like, walking towards it, paying attention to it, stuff.
Yeah, so he'll slowly move towards it. Because, right, it's a fascination. It's not a charge at it. It's
No. It's just a fascination. Marigold's
how
like,
pretty.
dearie, go.
Is it stone?
I think that's what we said, right?
Base kinesis should allow him to move stone. So Peter is going to move stone.
Okay.
I believe that's within 30 feet. Yep. Move an existing piece of element up to 20 feet in either direction. So he's just going to start flinging the stones off in different directions. So, like, just pop a stone there, pop a stone there, pop a stone there of the pile of stones. Just bing, 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 bing.
All right, Peter. Can you make me then? You make if make me another will save.
Please.
So you ping you ping one rock away,
Should I
right?
hero point that?
Nah. You ping one rock away, and this is what happens. Take 1 point of damage. That rock gets flung away.
Ow.
I've done it. So does he want to continue when he mentally gets whipped in his mind as this rock gets...
Yep. He wants to do it again and try to not take more damage, but he wants to see if he can break the effects on the rock because he sees Thurbold going to him like a, moth to flame. He's like, I don't think I want my friend to die. It does not look good.
Oh! Marigold's like, dearie,
Yes.
I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it, but she clicks her, she clicks. There we go. She clicks her fingers, and the whole pile of rocks just goes.
Oh, that works much better. You are a smart one. I am not knowledgeable in these things. I just was trying to help. You're smart. I like you. You're a very wise grandmother.
It's not me, dearie.
It is you. I see. I know things.
I see you.
Oh, that's very spooky. Very good voice. I like. We should do that with tea sometime. Now, narratively, I need to ask a question. GM to GM.
Yeah.
We just broke the fascination for Running Bear. Yes or no?
Yes.
And that would be for Third too. Does he or does he not smell a foreigner in camp?
Oh, yeah.
Meaning the one we don't know about.
Yeah, I think so. I think that narratively, given everything, Running Bear comes out of his stupor, emerges yawning and a little disoriented, looks at us, sees the bodies of his his attackers, and goes to say thank you. Like,
Let's see. Does he have? He does have perception. How well does he get it? Because he has scent and precise.
Not particularly well.
So I think he knows it's to the north, and that's about it.
Yeah. Running Bear says, "Did you bring something foreign here?"
No, not that I'm aware of. Just ourselves.
It starts to veer to the north. Follow me. Something is not right.
Certainly, we'll help. Right there, Bald.
Oh, fine. We'll do some more things. I mean, I'm not here by choice. I'm here by compulsion. But I'll come.
Alright. Do we want to give the assassin one last
Yep.
chance?
Yep. That's what I was just thinking. That's part of why I was like, let's give him. It's getting close for the assassin now.
Alright, well, you can roll it. I don't like this because it's very likely to work. It does work.
Ooh.
Alright, so the assassin
Now,
finds his mark.
Is he insta-killed, meaning that there's no resurrection or saving if we get to him and can do a heal immediately? Or is it he could be caught in the act? So he gets the target. What's his method of assassination?
Well, so he has two. And he's succeeded at effectively both. So this was the combination of his sawtooth saber and a blowgun dart that succeeded with giant centipede venom.
Okay, so giant centipede venom is severe muscle stiffness. So the target is
So
stiffened.
that's kind of what's prevented Fip from waking up, like just like this muscle stiffness, and is affected by that. And then gone in with the sawtooth saber to finish the job.
So someone who's incapacitated like that and gets struck, does it say that they instantly die in Pathfinder, or is it just a crit hit, or how does that work?
So, if Fip is unconscious, it doesn't it just contributes to failed death saves. Any damage that happens adds to the dying value, right?
Okay. Then let's put him at dying. What would you say, 2 or 3?
I think that he needs to be on death's door at dying 3.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was
thinking. Which you can't
thinking,
mark
right?
because he's not a player character, but we'll say
right. We know this, and so the only chance is for someone to detect it at this point. And if we fail, we fail. And
that is what it is.
There is no saving him. It's gotten close.
All right, so
what is FIP for those who are watching?
FIP,
tell us about FIP.
Is the medicine man person, oracle, prophet in the camp. The person that everyone looks up to, with that makes all of the voodoo cures and casts the runes for future events.
I want you to roll an occultism check for Marigold.
Occultism.
Yeah, exactly, Silver Wolf.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Where does FIP get his power from? It is someone that is aligned with Mab in one way or another. And so Mab actually has interest to keep FIP alive. So I think she now senses it, and the bird comes over and starts circling, going, trying to tell Marigold to get her butt over there and do her job and serve her patron and save FIP. That's what the occultism check was. Does Mab care about Fip directly or indirectly?
So I'm looking at this. So Phipps spells are divine spells, which are different to Mab's. Mab's are
Hmm.
primal.
But that adds story. Why does Mab care about Fip? What is it, right? We don't know. The characters certainly don't know. And that's why I had it happen, because I thought it was an interesting aspect where does she care or not?
Well, here's my pitch.
Sure.
Phip is a rat folk. What if the rat folk have an oral history that stretches back to the old ways, but they don't know it's the old ways? They speak a
Ooh.
tradition,
They
but
think
they
it's
don't
spirits
know
and
what
tradition.
it actually is,
Ah,
right? Maybe something made
yes.
its way into their songs or made its way into their rituals, or
Perfect.
traditions, and they don't know it's the old ways, but she knows it's the old ways. But they've named
She
things,
knows.
and she can
Yeah.
use that, right? She can use what's already
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely. That's perfect. I like that. That is great. Because that explains why she cares. Because they still have some of the old ways which she wants brought back, right? And so she's like, no, 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 no. He knows the traditions. He knows some of the stuff. We keep him alive. And so
She
the
will warn, like she like that will be a highlight for Marigold. How does Mab then
yeah,
like intercede in Marigold, because this has to affect Marigold deeply, right? Like,
she feels like a heartache to go to this place in like an emergency. Like her child is in danger,
right?
which is something that Marigold knows very well, that feeling. So she feels like her child is in there hurting.
Yeah, Marigold is walking, stretching out her senses, and then all of a sudden she clutches her chest and she runs,
I think she probably wails too as she goes running in there.
throwing the
What,
door open.
which is not really a door, it's a flap. But yeah, what does the assassin do if he hears her, Marigold like, "Ah!"
Well, so I've got something for that.
Sure.
Immediately, the assassin will use their smoke ball, deletes it from their inventory. We're going to use this. So I'm just going to click on use. Hang on.
Yep.
Smoke ball use. Boom. And everyone will see smoke, like unnatural smoke, not fire,
Yeah.
pouring
Like
out
smoke
of
that
the
sticks
chest,
around and like hazes
chest
around.
of the tent,
Yeah.
and will disappear and will try to sneak off. There is They have entered the tent from the back, so
Yeah, made a little cut.
made a little cut, and let's roll stealth. We plus concealment.
Yep.
No stealth. Roll, and this will. Yeah, that's pretty good. Um,
23. And
yeah.
that's
So
what does concealment give?
Marigold won't. So it just can't be targeted right now, or you need a
Okay.
flat check to target, but it's not going to help. But we're just going to have to make checks against that
Because I was gonna
23.
say, I think I think the running bear would have a chance to smell him because running bear is still smelling.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh, because he's sickened. If he wasn't sickened, he would have made it.
Right, but this is on purpose because running bear is a yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying. I'm pointing out
Right. Does Peter?
how close it was.
Oh, Peter sees him.
Ooh,
Peter sees this figure.
it's him.
Um,
Rocks start flying up around the guy.
yeah. I think though what makes the most sense,
I
right,
think he should get away.
is that he gets
Narratively, right?
away. Yeah, yeah. One of these rock catapults into like and hits this guy.
Ooh, Thurbold sees him.
But he's too far
I'm going to
away.
give Thurbold one attack on him
Sure.
as he exits the tent. Just one. Because I like the idea that he has a wound, potentially, if he hits, right?
Sure.
That he's like, you got me with that arrow. I'm going to pay you back. Right? You think about like narrative stories, right? Like it just, that fits.
Okay, let's see.
One shot only. And he missed.
Yeah, and this
Oh.
figure. So, I want to describe this figure because this guy's going to show up. We have a humanoid human. He or she actually chat he or she
I don't know if we know, but it's a humanoid. We know it's human-ish.
human person.
But chat can tell us if they have a choice.
Yeah.
What is the assassin, chat? You are always welcome to help us
Whoever
on
it
this.
is clothed in mantis shell armor. She is clothed in mantis shell armor. Shell armor that probably none of us have ever seen.
Yeah. Bug armor. What's this?
Right?
Did she get a Tyranid?
And a flash of a saber that is like curved in a way that no one has ever seen vanishes. Well, they're going to drop the saber because they were surprised
Okay.
as a clue for us. So
Then I will move that over to the party stash.
yes, Antishell
That's
goes with them.
Of course, because they're wearing it.
Let's check here.
I like that. Like, I like how this has worked out narratively. Like, narratively, this is very intriguing, right?
Yeah, and then that's that. So yeah, that saber has fallen, which is a faux pas. None of us know this, but that's a faux pas losing the saber.
Which is a good reason that they're going to hate us and hunt us. So, of course, they're going to show back up.
And they didn't get their mark, so off they go. All
Well,
right.
they got their mark, but they don't know if the mark is going to stay that way because they know they made their strike. But we're going to see if Marigold saves them or not. And if she does, they didn't get their mark and it's going to be found out. If she doesn't, then they did get their mark. But someone witnessed.
There can give her aid. I think that
Yes.
makes sense. So we're going to
because he didn't detect the assassin, but he did smell them in there.
Aid check. Nope. And this is Marigold.
Come on, Marigold.
She has a hero point, and she will use it as she has to.
Good. Oof. Yep.
Okay.
Come on.
This is our last chance, chat. Do we save him? Yes.
Oh.
Do. Bip the Prophet barely lives. However, we have to have something that's happened.
I think he has a lingering injury, basically.
I'm considering making Fip catatonic for it. Or something very severe.
He could just be in a coma for a while.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted something like a little less severe but permanent or more severe but temporary.
Well, yeah, I think more severe but potentially curable. So like catatonic, unable to talk, in a coma. Yeah. But stable.
Yeah. He's alive, but he's going to need help, which means we're now stuck here, or at least Marigold is stuck here by Mab's bidding until he's Fip is back up.
But that's great because it aligns us with the story of what's going on in this area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why do the Mantis assassins want Fip dead?
Right.
Who are the Mantis assassins? Where'd they come from?
We don't even know.
Or who hired them to
Yeah.
kill him? Yeah, there's a lot of great narrative questions there. We're still trying to deal with the Eternal Frost too. Are they gone? Is there more of them?
Seems
A
like the
lot
rest
of
of the camp seems free of these, but they're probably nearby, not too far away. They obviously thought about this attack pretty severely.
right.
But something that's going to happen as part of this, we'll have a bunch of things that go on here. Does Running Bear remember anything?
Remember,
Because Running Bear has been fascinated this whole time. He remembers them coming in, and then he just remembers going blank, probably.
is Running Bear in his form or is he in his human
No,
form?
human form.
Okay, so is he actually large in human form or is he medium in human form?
I think he's
A
probably
lot of times
large.
he's large in human form. Okay,
I think so.
I know a lot of times you said the lycanthropy shift one size up. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, no, I think for him, I mean,
Yeah,
it's up
for
to
him, I
you.
can see that.
He's the leader.
I mean, yeah, he still should be fairly large, right? But I think he's kind of like
In
when
between.
he's in human form, he's like medium or the bottom of large. Or when he's bear form, he is large, if not almost huge, right? Not huge, but he's large, large. So we can leave him as large, but I think it makes sense that he's bigger in that form.
Yeah, Running Bear will gather any survivors in the camp together. He'll basically stand and he will plant his both of his feet and he'll let out this sound that just reverberates in everyone's chest. Right? And gradually, the wounded, the trapped, they come crawling out of their tents and out, except for Fip. We all gather around and Running Bear checks in with everyone and says, Great unrest has reached us here this day. The cult of Eternal Frost made the first strike. They will not. We have lost men. Looking around, he sees families that he knows without their mothers or without their fathers, husbands, brothers. He says, have. But thee came in things they have saved. And go on a little bit.
This is where he tells us, and he tells them, ready to move to the sacred grounds, which we don't know what that is.
Right.
And so everyone breaks and heads to their tents and starts packing, or not right now, but packing and getting ready to leave at first light tomorrow because it's too late to leave now. Which none of us know what this is. Characters. However, I had a thought that was really cool. What if they have a large cave complex that they use during certain times of great turmoil to make a call to all of their allies or hunting parties that are out, and they bring them all there? And so it's a more fortified disposition that they can strike out at the eternal frost from. And so he's gathering all troops there so they can wage war because they know that that's what it is.
All right.
I think it would make sense that if any of us want to ask questions about a certain cursed ring that we found out about or any of the other things that we've had, this would be our chance to ask.
Absolutely. So, in relation to that, got a few things. He, Running Bear, is going to gift the strongest amongst us, who he considers to be Peter, a gift. Get you to have a look at this here in a moment as I pull it over. Talk about this.
Okay.
There it is. Look.
I don't see it. Did you put it on Peter or?
Yeah, it's in Peter's in
Okay.
equipment.
I didn't look there. Ursine Avenger Hood. Ooh. Cave bear skull and fur. Nice. +1 to nature checks to command animal.
If Peter or anyone invests this, it opens up an entire archetype for them.
Mm-hmm. Is this something that Skewer would be interested in, knowing Skewer's connections? Okay.
It's not, but I just figured this was a freaking cool item.
Yeah. It is absolutely cool. I'm just trying to think. It doesn't benefit Peter and his archetype very well.
Yeah.
But it is amazing.
So we can possibly find someone, pass it on along to, but at the moment he has gifted it to us for saving people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is very fitting.
In addition, they will prepare us some soup. Well, I'm gonna put into um party. So I'm just sorting out like loot thing.
Yeah. Well, we weren't lady, but we are finally now. Things turned around, which is good because we were nearly dead.
Yeah. And yes, we are definitely able to. Do we think we should be able to identify that siblings coin here?
We should at least be able to try, unless it's like, what is the sibling coin? I don't know what it is, so I don't know where it would make sense to identify it.
Well, this is the
Okay.
thing. It's not meant to be something that we know.
No. I'm just saying, would it make sense that it's possible to do it
Makes
here? Or
sense
would
to
it something
try.
we would know we
Yeah, makes sense
couldn't?
to.
Okay. Yeah, then let's do that. So we roll a
think
crafting
there's
check.
yes, yeah.
There we go. I figured it out. I'm smart. I can do the things.
Yeah, so everyone that wants to can try and do that. I'm definitely gonna try on Marigold.
Is it blacksmithing related or not?
No. Okay, she knows. Let's identify it.
Of course, Marigold knows.
Okay, so now she's able to tell us.
Marigold,
Contrary
knower of
to
secrets.
widespread hysteria, secret handshakes are not the preferred method of confirmation between society, mostly because this would be obvious in the middle of a crowded street or tavern. Instead, societies tend to mark each other by carrying siblings. The name was originally coined by a past secret society that has since fallen into obscurity. Yes, coin says with a 25, not quite a critical success, she said, there is a way, but I do not know of it. Reveal a secret symbol in the. I know that it holds one. I don't know how to accomplish it. Sometimes it's uh, a hidden section to it. Either way, see if any of you can figure it out. And she motions over to Thurball, who is, gambler and probably the most familiar. Got you muted again. Oh! I can't hear you, DM. Sorry.
Oh, I was coughing and I didn't hit the mute apparently.
I'll try and take a look. You never know.
And he just takes it and like flips it around.
Oh, look, dearie, it's right like this. Yeah, see? Look at it. This is the symbol you're looking for.
Yeah. And so he's able to reveal the hidden compartment in this coin by uh, turning the side of it a certain direction, back and forward. Recover and reveal this. So,
Is it showing the emblem of the Eternal Frost? Or
no.
is it another organization? Oh, it's another one.
No, this is the assassin.
Oh, it's the Mantis one, but we got it off the cultist.
Did we? Hang on, let me just check.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
sibling coin you had on the cultist.
Oh, okay. In that case, all right, I'll need to check my notes. Go back,
It's okay.
check.
It was on the Alu the cultist.
Then it is a symbol that it isn't of the frost nor of the assassins.
Hmm.
This is troubling. It is a third group we have to deal with. I don't know if we can handle many more groups. We might need to hire on additional adventurers to check out some of these things for us.
Yeah.
It's almost like we expect there to be additional adventures that we do not partake in or something.
Hmm. Possibly, yes. But we could potentially
So
find out more about that later on.
I think we would need to, because obviously someone is working with the Eternal Frosts because they were occultists of the Eternal Frost, helping them in camp.
Hmm.
But they aren't of them; they're of another secret society. So now we know there's 3 societies of cultists or activists problems in the area.
Well, the cult of Eternal Frost is not exactly secret. Um,
No,
so someone
no,
is,
they're not.
but the assassins potentially are for a little bit more.
Yeah,
But whoever this is even more secretive than the assassin. Thing about them.
right.
Um,
Will be a recall knowledge for that, or
you can try. Yeah, we can have a look at this symbol and go, perhaps something that we can recall.
society?
Yeah,
I think that would probably be the closest, right?
yeah. Peter doesn't know.
Does Marigold or
So
Skewer? Just
find
while they're
out.
all racking their brain talking about it.
Oh, and no,
Nope.
and
Nope.
probably no. No.
No.
Nope, nobody knows. Everyone's looking at it going,
I think we're going to have to ask some other people about this one. It is not something I know, and Marigold looks to be confused by it as well.
yes. I will now I will ask then, do you as GM want to know? I can give a
I'm good with
little
it, 'cause then
hint.
we can work on developing things, or we can talk about it offline. Either way.
So obviously this can be developed later on, but this
Hmm.
symbol, unbeknownst to any of our characters, is linked
Absolutely.
to our acolyte that character's family.
Mm.
So it's a family icon, not a society icon of uh,
Well, that makes sense why
Alu's
society failed. Mm.
family. And so it's yeah, so it's actually more of a family situation going. But we
Cool.
do
That
not
would make
know that.
sense. Do we have a name for the family, or do we want to see if Chat has a name?
I do not yet. I named the character Alu, but not have I do not have
Familial.
written down a family name. But if someone wants to
Now,
make one, feel free.
do you, yeah, Chat. If you have a good familial name, let us know. Um, do you like the idea that they are arcanists? Like secretly, they're arcanists. Like they all study that, even though it's rare. They kept some of the secrets of the old ways.
What I like the idea of is that it's a religious family, and that there might be some icon items, perhaps like a heirloom that's on,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe a
sounds
sensor,
good.
a sensor heirloom that is passed on across the generations, and
There's a
uh,
item of power that's passed down that they've studied over the generations and has imparted some level of acumen to them.
yes, I think that that would be
Sounds good.
suitable
Yeah.
because then the power is associated to something in the past, some item, some source, ancient source somewhere that we can discover and figure out later, that isn't just natural. I think that goes with your
That's perfect. Yeah.
world.
Yep.
Given all of this, we are handing out more loot. And also, something that's going to happen through all of the things that get mentioned and spoken about, we are also getting to level 2 DM Nick.
Which is
Because
very
we
good.
have traveled much, we have learned much, we have experienced much.
Yes.
It's
It would make
time.
sense that that is the time. We get to level 2, Chad. We lived to level 2. A lot more health will help.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that in our Kingmaker game. As you went up in levels and got the extra health, that in and of itself really helped you with your survivability.
Okay, so got that one. Got that. Perfect. Yeah, also going to the townsfolk are going to pass around a collection to reward us. We make our way back to their ancestral grounds. Are they allowing us in their ancestral grounds?
I think they will, knowing that we've helped them. But I think we'll also be told we have to be sworn to secrecy during tonight's dinner. Like the chief, I think, would be willing to invite us to eat with him and be like, can we trust you to keep a secret? If you do not wish to be bound by your life to a secret, thank you for helping us. You can go. If you are willing, you can help us further, but there's things no one is allowed to know. I think that would make sense because he does want to still keep it a secret, but we did help.
Yeah. All right, so I'm adding 150 silver to the stash.
Perfect.
And that should get us. So we've gotten the siblings coin, we got the deployable cover, we got the Ursine Avenger hood, we got some alchemist fry from the other time. I think that one of us has the alchemist fry. I think Thurbal has. Check that there is around. I need
It's
to.
in the party storage right now.
In the party storage, that's okay.
Yeah.
Hampering snares there. Mender's soup. That's a new one that is also in the storage. And Origin Unduant is there as part of Phip's sundries and potions and curiosities that Phip has that Running Bear allows us to take with us because for a specific purpose. So he will tell us what Origin Unduant is. And what it does is you are able to to mix two substances, one that is known and one that is unknown. See if the unknown substance has any relation to the known substance. It allows you to connect things together for lore purposes, or to say, hey, it has nothing to do.
That's cool. So it's basically a item of investigation where you're like, are these two things connected?
And the thing that it's connected to in this Origin Unduant is anything to do with the Cult of Eternal Frost. So he gets the one of the necklaces or amulets. He cracks that into it to prepare. He says anything that you are wondering whether it has a connection to the Cult of Eternal Frost, you can mix it in with this solution. It will tell you whether it's connected or not. That gives us. It is a consumable. We can only use it once, I believe, but it's there for.
That's cool.
Right. Set everyone to level 2. We'll pick other
I did.
things later on. Do you want to talk about what you're picking on stream?
I don't know yet. I need to look at that.
Okay.
I was debating between a few. Do you know what you're picking or not?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Alright, so as we have seen, Skewer is very focused on knocking things off guard and wrestling with things, grabbing things. We are going to be giving him the wrestler archetype. Put that in here. Wrestler. Alright, so let's have a look. So, wrestler says your training in wrestling arts has made you adept at moving, striking, and grappling while unencumbered. You become expert in athletics, so up to athletics for doing that. You gain the Titan Wrestler skill feat, and you don't take -2 penalty for making a lethal attack with your non-lethal unarmed attacks. In addition, you gain +2 circumstance bonus to your fortitude DC when attempting to resist opponent's grapple or to swallow you whole. And then Titan Wrestler allows you to attempt disarm, grapple, reposition, shove, or trip on creatures up to 2 size larger than you, or if you get to legendary in athletics, 3 size larger too. So it allows you to grab onto things that normally you wouldn't be able to.
Nice. Fits for him.
Yeah. As far as the class feats and stuff, I'll have to skim that, but that is so far.
Kinetic or element kineticist familiar sounds interesting. But I don't know that we want that. If you have recommendation, I am open to that.
I'm not very familiar with what's available. Kineticist. I haven't run one, and I don't have one in any of my players. None of my players are. So we are going to get as our class feat. We are going to get.
Oh my.
Yeah. Welcome in, Crowfang.
Voice of the Elements. Take a look at it for Peter. Okay. Tell me what you think. That could prove to be very intriguing for our collecting information.
Speak with secret tones of elements you channel, finding words in the crackle of flame, stone. Your aura grants you speak all languages of your kinetic element. You can communicate with mindless elementals on a basic level, allowing you diplomacy to make impression and gain +2 bonus to charisma based checks against elementals of one of your kinetic elements. Guessing would be
Stone or metal are his choices right now. That's interesting.
It's interesting. I've taken combat grab for my class feat. Requirement: you have a hand free, and your target is within reach of your hand. Using your prior attack to shift your opponent's guard, you take another swing and grab them. You make a melee strike while keeping the hand free. Strike hits, you grab the target using your free hand. So basically, it's an attack and a grab in one.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. And then we are gonna choose.
So the communicate with mindless elements on a basic level, if they have a trait that matches, that means he could literally go and pick up the stones and talk with them. Or pick up someone's dagger or sword and talk with it. So like the sword we picked up from the mantis, he could talk to the sword. I think that sounds very interesting. But I wanted to see what your thoughts was on that.
You want to go that way? That sounds cool.
It sounds interesting, so I wanted to see what your thoughts are. Do you think that would be too much? Do you think it sounds intriguing?
I guess that kind of depend. Like, so if you made it metal, I'm wondering whether it would allow you to get information for every single piece of metal thing that we ever got. Maybe that I'm a little bit too much. I don't know.
I mean, it would need to be what they're privy to, right? So it wouldn't be they're in the armory and a secret meeting takes place. They wouldn't know the secret meeting, right? But
it's not.
they would know like basics of travel distance, stuff like that. But it's up to you too. Like there's a lot of DM interpretation on that one, which is why I'm asking you as well.
Yeah, and you can't just speak to the sword. It doesn't allow you to animate and
No, it's just speak with it.
because you just get language. You can communicate with elemental.
Yeah. So I'd have Telekin and Petron. And then could communicate with mindless elementals. So it's mindless elementals, not elements. Yeah. Okay, I read it as elements, not elementals.
Yeah.
Okay, that is more limiting. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's fine.
The other ones I was considering are weapon infusion and geological attunement. So those are the three I'm considering for Peter.
You think?
I'm not sure on archetypes for either of them, so I'm open to suggestions.
Look about, but
Just saying, if you have suggestions on them, I am open to it.
If it strikes me,
take your time. Oh, and you mentioned your ancestry alteration homebrew. What was that?
if we went with it, it allows you to get additional ancestry feats. I think it's so you still get the ones at 1, 5, 9, 13, and 17. But you
Mm-hmm.
get additional ones at 3, 7, 11, 15. So it's
Okay.
not now.
I'm good with that. Yeah, like I said, I just didn't know. I was trying to make sure I remembered when those were.
Yeah, so we're just looking at leveling our characters up here. So for Thurball, Acrobat potentially would make sense, but we have seen a little bit of that in Malkov or Kingmaker, or whether you
Hmm.
go that direction or not. I like leaning into his um, gambling things.
Hmm.
So there is trying to find it. I think there are two that could do something around that. There is Arrow, Arrowa. Yes, Arrowa that can do that.
Harrower. Okay, let me look.
Yeah, which would train him in occultism, fortune telling,
Harrower.
give him access to the Harrow deck so he can draw cards and get effects from them.
Interesting.
So it would be like a chance based kind of thing. There's Juggler, which could be interesting, especially if you're doing instead of bow and arrow, if you did different object like thrown weapon. At the moment, that's not
He's
what we're
good with
doing.
going throne. He hasn't yet because he didn't have enough armor class and stuff like that to really lean into that. So he was trying to keep a little bit more distance.
Yeah, there's any of the blade dedications like butterfly blade and
Hmm.
different ones like that. He's already a what is his charisma? He's already doing charisma, so you could do something like a dedication into swashbuckler to get like extra swashbuckler goodness. That
Yeah,
would be a good thing.
true.
Some really awesome stuff there because you gain panache and stuff.
Does Swashbuckler work with thrown weapons? Because I kind of think that sounds kind of fun. Like have him go into like throwing daggers or darts or um,
I'm not
cards or something.
not entirely sure.
Okay. Oh, good.
I think it's mostly like single-handed melee weapon for swashbuckler. Yeah, yeah, because you you want the agile or finesse typically. You could also, if you want to go into more like craziness, you could go into thaumaturge or
That
knowledge.
actually kind of fits him.
I think I have something here to help with this. Oh, look, I have this jingly thing that he doesn't like.
Yeah, so that's certainly a
That,
possibility.
that actually does fit.
Um, so they're the top things that I would say, right? For him, I would
Hmm.
say those few. Um, Arawa, um, Juggler, Swashbuckler, or Thaumaturge would be up there.
The only reason
For
I don't like Swashbuckler as much is because that is melee then, and he's still a bit squishy.
mhm.
And he's never really liked the idea of getting up close like that. He's always been more of a, I'd rather keep my distance.
Yeah, for Peter. If you did your weapon attunement thing, you could go with Mauler
Mhm.
to get like to skin him having a hammer, which goes with your armorer and weaponsmith
I'd be
idea.
good with that if we
And
go with that. Yeah.
Mauler gives you knockdown. It does require it to be two-handed, is the only issue, but might not be an
Does
issue.
the weapon infusion not allow that?
I think it does. I don't know. Have to have a look at it. That's something that might be there. What else could we see?
It doesn't say it has to be. I don't see anything that says one-handed.
Then yeah.
A melee or ranged blast. You melee or range add a feature to it.
Oh, yeah. So you could do that. Skin
So
him
I
as a hammer.
I could count it as either unarmed or weapon. I think there's some GM calls that need to be made with it because it's that gray area, right? But I think we're good with it.
Yeah. I don't think that there's an issue with it. So that's one possible way that sort of already goes into some stuff that you're already doing. Otherwise, it would probably just be a martial archetype. Other than that, I think
Jugular.
some
I mean,
sort
I
of
guess we could go the Ursine Hood mode, like you were
yeah.
saying, but I don't know how
You
well
could
that
lean
fits him.
into that one. I mean, it's super cool, but um, just being there. That might kind of make sense for what you're doing. What are his other stats?
For Peter, con strength are his top ones. 3
So,
strength, 1 4 con, 1 int, 1 wisdom, -1 charisma. Because he talks slow and deep, he has some challenge with some people.
so you have Stonebound, which would pull you more and more and more into um your Earth stuff.
What's Stonebound under? That's a
Stonebound dedication.
archetype?
Yeah,
I've not seen or heard of that one.
it's uncommon, but I mean he qualifies.
He qualifies as Stonebound? Really?
Uh, is that?
You bind yourself to the very essence of stone. Too late. Already did that. He's an Orid. He is literally earth and metal. That is his very being. Oh, wow. Stonebound. Increase your maximum HP by your level. So just go ahead and take more health. That
Yeah,
is funny.
not bad.
No. Oh, I hear you there, lady. It's all good. All good. Stone Brawler dedication. What's that?
It gives you an unarmed strike, but I think
Eh. Yeah, that
you've
doesn't.
already kind of got that. It does do cool stuff later on, but it would feel kind of
I already
meh.
got that sort of stuff. Yeah.
The unarmed strike is excellent. Just yeah, I know
How much does it
already.
do?
It's a D8.
I already got that. 3 ways.
Yeah,
I literally already have that 3 ways. 3
yeah.
ways. So yeah,
Um,
it's a little redundant.
Not sure that anything else really right now, like with what he's
Yeah.
already works into. I mean, it would just be, once upon a time we said barbarian, but you kind of can't
He's
do
not
some of the things that.
yeah, and he's not much of a raging person anyways.
No,
So
he's more of a
a lot of
helper,
their
and
stuff is based around raging, and so that's my only issue with the Ursine. I thought it was barbarian. And it's like, but he's not. He's very not barbarian.
yeah. All right, well, they're my picks for him anyway. As far as so Mauler
Yep.
or Stonebound. There might be something else, but I.
Plant
Monk.
evidence. That sounds like something Theobald would do, but I don't know how we would use it. Uh,
Anyway, I'll get to Marigold.
yeah. Thank you. I just
So,
figured I'd see if you had any suggestions. Acrobats.
okay, so we
Let's take
have basic
modifications off.
lesson. Is that or cackle? I like basically.
Cackle's good,
It is good.
but the others, yeah. Oh, strong arm. If we're gonna go throwing with him, strong arm would be good. I saw later on where was it that I saw somewhere that you could use a deck of cards as throwing daggers, and I'm trying to remember where I saw that.
Yes. So
Because I just remembered that, and I was like, that actually sounds like it would be fit him really well.
yeah, I'll need a minute to find it.
Oh yeah, take your time. I'm conversing with you just because it came back to my head, right? It's one of those. There was that.
It is a rogue feat at second level. So that's your
It's a
class
rogue
feat.
feat. Oh, what's that one called?
Fane's Foreberry. Fane.
Oh.
says enter this stats, choose whether to treat playing cards in your possession as daggers or darts. Chosen weapon stance. If you went
That sounds like that fits him.
if you went that way, I would strongly recommend Juggler as your archetype.
Kind of thinking that sounds interesting for him, just because that really leans into that gambler aspect that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
I think I like that idea. I don't know that it's wise or is going to be great, but it's different. And I like the idea of leaning into that whole gambler aspect. So why would you say juggler? What does juggler give him on that? Like, I believe you. I'm just curious for my knowledge and
Right.
where we
So,
go with it.
Juggler, it's a little complicated. Not too complicated.
That's
But
understandable.
basically what happens is you get the juggle skill feat for free.
Mm-hmm.
Juggle skill feat allows you to start juggle with single stored item that you're carrying, negligible bulk, so anything light or negligible bulk, so any card, any dagger, blah blah blah. Start to juggle it. You can use the action to continue juggling, and as long as you're juggling fewer than your maximum number of items, you still have a free hand. Um, so you basically just start doing that, right, with the juggle, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, you can juggle more things. You can lob things that you're juggling, um, and that treats targets as flat-footed when you do that. Like that's later on. You can,
Which that would allow him to get a sneak attack on that then.
yeah.
I see
If
what you're saying.
people like throw things at you, an item falls within your reach, or an attacker fails an attack roll to hit you, you can uh, grab a thing and start juggling it. Like, it's pretty cool.
Sure.
um,
We can go with that.
yeah, I don't know how often it's gonna come up, but
I mean, if someone gets into making potions or we get into finding potions, or we could always, make it where we find more alchemist fires or whatnot, right? Then he could be juggling that with his cards, throw a card, throw a vial sort of thing.
yeah. Okay. Spirit, Blood Ward.
Oh, critical specialization effect with the weapon. What would we call this critical specialization effect of um kinesthetic weapon?
Don't know what you.
So the elemental blast, that's the name of it, right? I don't know that it has a critical specialization
No, I
like
don't
other
think it.
weapons.
Well, it's not a weapon. Yeah, you would apply it only at the.
Because weapon infusion makes it sound like you make it be like a weapon, but then it's different. Weapon infusion? Oh, I didn't see that. Range increment, you can actually make your range blast have 100 feet or 50 feet with propulsion,
Okay.
or 20 feet with thrown. That actually would allow him easy. That would actually allow him to have a way of being able to blast further. So I do think that actually has some merit to it.
Okay.
And then when he does melee, he can do agile, backswing, forceful, reach, or sweep.
Okay.
I don't know how good all those are, so I'm up for suggestions on that. But that does sound like that probably would be good because we've had issues reaching at times, right?
Yeah.
So I think that would make sense to go that route so that he can reach.
Okay.
And then I was looking at your Mauler dedication suggestion. That's part of why I was asking about the weapon critical specialization.
Yeah, I don't know how the things interact, I'm afraid, but
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of the Mauler stuff says it has to wield a weapon in two hands.
yeah.
Does kinesthetic blast count as wielding a weapon in two hands? Or not?
I mean, only if you did the yeah, because I don't know what a weapon attunement, like the weapon attunement thing, does. Whether it just says you gain keywords of a weapon, or whether you actually start holding a weapon. I don't know.
It says you shape your blasts of element into the form of a weapon, such as a sword or bow.
Yep.
So it takes the shape of it.
Okay.
You can choose to change the blast's damage to bludgeoning or piercing
Yep.
or slashing, whichever suits the weapon,
Mm-hmm.
which is already what he does. Depending on whether you make a melee or ranged blast, you can then choose one of the following to add. So it says it takes on the looks, but not
Isn't.
necessarily that it is a. It kind of makes it sound like it is, but then it makes it sound like it's not. So it's one of those gray areas that is really kind of confusing.
Well, don't read too much. It sounds like it's just the shape, not the actual. So I think probably Mauler isn't going. Probably.
Yeah. So what do you think is best for melee? Ally or agile, backswing, forceful, reach, or sweep?
Agile, backswing, forceful, reach, sweep.
Yeah.
Agile. So agile will mean
Agile,
that is multiple attack penalties.
correct.
That's good.
I was about to say that. That's not a bad one.
Forceful is just extra damage.
Is it all extra damage?
It's the second attack, I think.
Okay.
Or
So the second attack gets extra damage.
when
Okay.
you attack with it more than once, you get a circumstance
Okay.
bonus. I don't think.
And I think sweep is you attack targets next to each other.
Yeah, so your next
All
attack gets a +1 to target that.
right. Okay.
I think
And
agile
backswing.
backswing is a +1 bonus to your next attack. So it's just your second attack after missing. So if you miss, you get
after
+1.
missing.
I think.
Okay, so agile and reach sound like they're the most probable.
Yeah, and he is attacking more than typically.
Yeah. So why would you go with thrown over propulsive? So you can have the thrown trait or propulsive trait. What's the difference between propulsive and thrown?
Propulsive, you add to a ranged
Oh,
weapon.
propulsive is half strength. Thrown is full strength.
Yeah, and propulsive is for a ranged weapon, whereas thrown makes your melee.
Yeah. It's interesting because I can add I like for a ranged hit, you pick. So if I get within 20 feet, switch to thrown so that I can hit with the extra strength damage, right? Otherwise, if I'm within 50 feet, go propulsive. And if I'm outside that, go 100 foot. And that way I can still hit. I just don't do as much damage. Cool. I'll have to remember that. But that's good to know. Okay. I like that flexibility that it gives him. That's really going to help, I think.
First level main, the number.
And we're sorry, we're kind of not as entertaining right now, chat. We're trying to teach you all how to level up characters too. So just as sometimes the world building stuff isn't as invigorating and intriguing, sometimes we'll do stuff like this to help you guys see the way we're thinking and what we're thinking, why we're thinking, so that you can understand and participate.
There's a lot to leveling up characters, especially when you're running games as well. So,
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not trying to make it dull. There is a reason we're sharing this part because it is important.
Yeah.
So, to learn. So, question for you. Armor and Earth is medium armor with speed penalty 10. What is the best way to reduce that speed penalty or negate that or speed him up or both?
There's not that many ways to do that. You
Okay.
already reduce it by 5 because of your strength.
Right.
The only ways that I know of to reduce it further is by taking adopted ancestry into dwarf and getting the dwarf like ancestry
Okay.
feat for it. Although it might not even be an
That's a lot.
ancestry feat, it might just be
Right.
heritage. I'm not sure. So you would need to look at that. Is there any other way? Fleet to cancel it.
So I guess I should probably go with Fleet on him so he can catch up. Is Fleet available at second level?
No.
Okay, it's third level.
Because it's a general feat.
Right. Yep, I get that. And that's why I was like, oh, right. Because I was just thinking of that.
So,
Sure, lady. Okay. So I need to figure out the skill feat for him and Thurbold at some point as well.
Stabilize.
How much does a deck of cards cost?
Be my
No. Playing cards is 5 silver pieces for a deck of playing cards that has 54 cards. So 54 daggers for 5 silver pieces.
seems pretty good. And not weighing anywhere close to what 50 daggers would be.
Right? That's why I'm like, this is really working for Thurbold. So if you're good with it, I'm going to give him 2 of those and dock us a gold piece.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Just so that there's a reason that he has, plenty of cards if anyone ever asks. He gets 2 decks of cards. That's, 108 cards. He probably can go for quite a while because he can probably get him back after.
I'm just sort of doing spell things now.
Yep. I just figured I'd tell you why there was, 1 gold missing from our inventory if you saw it.
Yeah.
And, being a friendly teammate.
No worries. Yeah, I'm not about that.
I didn't think you were.
Haven't had to.
Kind of like that idea for him, though. It sounds fun.
I found some cards. I found a fun trick to do with them. You want to see?
Are 1, 2, 3 more. Heal. Heal. Okay, and then we get at second level that for free. Get 2 more. Yeah.
Okay. So it will cost him an action every turn he wants to juggle. So he doesn't always have to do it. But that'll be helpful. And then 60 foot for the short bow. But the thrown weapons have, is it 20 foot?
Depends on the thrown weapon. I'm gonna get Tailwind. And
Ooh, nice. Okay. So he can choose each time to do daggers or darts. And now it failed because I didn't click it. So what's the difference for there? So Dagger's a D4. Thrown 10 foot. While a dart
Arm.
What's shielded arm?
Spell.
Mm-hmm.
It allows
20 foot.
I can target any one of us, one willing creature. Lasts a minute. The target can raise their arm to effectively raise a shield, but without having a shield in that arm. They get +2 bonus to armor class while keeping their hand free.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is potent.
Pretty good. Yeah. They can shield block with it, but I wouldn't be using it to shield block.
Right. Still, that's pretty cool.
Do we want to put that in instead of fear? It gives basically a permanent +2 armor class.
I mean,
as an action.
definitely, it's definitely a consideration for her. That's for sure. If you like it, I'd say go for it.
Alright, so we'll prepare that instead of fear. That makes her a little bit more protective.
Yeah.
So she's got Protector Tree, Shielded Arm, Mystic Armor, which she can cast on herself. That seems pretty good. She also has Blood Ward now. So she can increase armor class as a sustained thing as well. Alright, so that's pretty good. Then we get an archetype feat for her. Archetype feat. It's Familiar Master. Familiar Master dedication. Boom. So what that gives us, you forge a bond with a creature, complex rituals. You gain, if you didn't already have one, a familiar. If you already have a familiar, which I do, gain enhanced familiar. So enhanced familiar.
Ooh.
I can select 4 familiar or master abilities each day instead of 2. So basically, for me, that's 2 additional feats, features, abilities for my improved familiar. Means I can go to my familiar and it should have now 6 familiar abilities. Did that magic work, by the way? Rulfang and Silver? Did my magic thing work? Do the thing? Paying attention.
I wasn't watching. I'm sorry.
Curious. Doesn't matter.
So
Right?
I was quickly Googling what people recommend. Someone mentioned Rogue for archetype for kinestheticist to get skill mastery. Another one recommended Cavalier for moving around better.
You have to be mounted for that, but
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how well the Cavalier would work for Peter unless he got like a big chunk of rock he could ride around on. Hefty boy. Bastion. What's Bastion?
We're gonna get. What do you got into? Gonna give it manual. It will later on.
Oh, Bastion's for shields, and he doesn't have a shield. Oh, that's why they recommended that. Peter could go blessed one and get lay on hands. But I don't know how that would work. We'd have to find a way to make that work narratively. That's an intriguing thought.
A restorative familiar. So my familiar can now heal me.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Restorative familiar.
Something like Celebrity or Dandy I had considered for Thurbold as well.
Yeah, I could see that.
You mentioned Juggler, so we'll go with that. We'll try it out.
Yeah, if we don't like it, we can always change it.
I mean, we'll have to check with the DM and make sure he's okay with us, retraining.
Yeah, so we'll get familiar focus as well.
Beautiful.
So what that does is it allows my familiar to spend 2 actions to recharge my my focus point.
Ooh. Focus point coming back is awesome.
Is I'm thinking I might remove scent and that.
Well,
I think I'm ever gonna use it.
Fits. Geomancer dedication.
I think you have to have actual spellcasting.
You have to cast spell slot. Yeah, I'm just saying how funny that would be for him. Trying to figure out what dedications can fit for him, right? Because there's not necessarily a lot that fit for him. Because, like you mentioned, the Mauler, but the problem is that one says it has to be a weapon. I mean, he could go herbalist for us and do crafting of alchemy, but he's not done anything with plants, so that's kind of odd. I could have him go Hell Knight to do heavy army training, but he doesn't wear armor and nothing else fits with that.
I'm gonna give it fast movement.
Ooh, nice.
So that means that it can now fly 40. Yeah, that's nicer. Do that. Cool. So my familiar is getting more and more beefy. And because so by level 4, we need to have met my next familiar DM as a DM note.
Perfect. Yep.
So in the next 10 or so sessions, Visa needs to be leading us towards my
Well,
spirit
she
guide.
led you to this guy. I wonder if there's a link there. I mean, I know he's unconscious right now, right?
Well, it could be
But
that Mab
Fib,
doesn't want them alive necessarily, but Mab knows that they need to go on one final journey, sort of thing. Finn,
that's what I'm wondering.
and once the final journey enables Finn to become like the spirit guide, keep them
I could
alive,
see that.
different way, something
Yeah,
like that maybe.
You need Fip to get your spirit guardian because some connection there.
Yeah.
Hey, are you still working on yours or not?
I think I'm done.
Take a look at living monolith dedication.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I mean, you don't have the prerequisite at all.
No.
Um,
The being stone is the thing that kind of made me go with that more than not so much Sphinx, but Earth itself, right? Just stone itself instead of go with the whole Ka stone and all that. Just reskin it as Earth and resilience.
right
And if you're
now,
like, not really, I'm good with that too.
right
It
now, I
was one that
don't
I looked
think
at, was
it
like,
makes
maybe.
sense. I think
Okay.
if he was to find an Earth attuned area, right, that specifically had a creature
Okay.
or a ritual like attached to it, and in that he could discover and learn and perform, I would say sure.
Okay.
But because all of the later feats require the Carstone ritual,
Yeah.
and that's rare. Like that has to be
It's fine.
something that happens.
The Costone ritual's rare.
Yes, so
Oh.
you can get the dedication without the ritual, but at level 4, you have to take the
Oh.
Carstone ritual to enable all the rest of the feats for it.
Got it. Okay.
And you have to
I
have
missed that little
another
note.
living monolith perform a ritual with. So I think if he found a living monolith somewhere, that would
Yeah.
potentially enable that. But right now, we've got nothing in the story that fits
Yep.
that
Nope. We're
at
good.
all. I know from like I don't mind the
I mean, I guess you
idea
could go
later on.
martial dedication.
Does he have charisma?
No, that's the problem.
Marshall kind of
Uh,
requires it. Kind of requires it. So we have a skill feat that we need to do. All right.
I don't know what to give him. I mean, like I said, someone recommended doing something like Blessed One, but I'm trying to figure out lore-wise how to do that. That would help because it would give us a lay on hands that could be used. And like there's so many others that just don't fit him.
Yeah.
I mean, Mindsmith sounds cool, but it doesn't fit him.
Yeah,
So many of these are just, they don't fit him. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Gain a skill feat and the rogue surprise attack feature.
yeah. See, like the internet is going to recommend things that are powerful, not things that are lawful.
Oh, I'm not. I use it as a something worth looking at and probably likely to ignore. To be honest.
Hmm?
He could take the Raid Manus dedication. Become an assassin.
He could do that.
I just saw that based on what we had earlier. And of course, that's where the Sawtooth Saber comes from too. But no. I mean, Rune Scarred or Rune Lord, but I don't know that that really fits him either.
They're not. They're not really him.
Nope. That's why I said they're not really him. Scrounger? What's Scrounger? Scrounger, maybe.
Yeah, seasoned. Let's take.
Sentinel, I could see, but I don't know how much that'll help him.
Seasoned. Probably not a lot. See?
Actually, it let him sleep in his armor at level 4. So he could just leave his armored and earth permanently on. Hmm.
Can you channel elements while sleeping?
That's a great question.
I would imagine that's a no. I think you would have to be conscious.
Well, I'm going to look because you have a point. That actually may be. I'm curious. Here we go. It doesn't say it requires concentration or consciousness, or it does require if you Your aura automatically deactivates if you are knocked out. So it doesn't say you're required to be conscious, like not sleeping. But I think the knocked out kind of would
Knocked out
say
is
that.
unconscious.
Right. So. Yeah, that won't work then.
Okay. So, I think I'm done with mine. We just have to sort yours out.
Peter's causing me some confusion.
The only thing, yeah, with kineticist is like finding something that's synergetic. Or
Mm-hmm.
I do think that like going more into his Earth stuff is probably. I don't think
Yeah,
any
I
of
was trying to
those
lean into
weapon
the
things.
Earth stuff, but what does that? Like I said, I could do Scrounger, I guess, makeshift items crafting, but I don't know how that would really help us. I mean, other than the fact that it says you need to have dwarven connections and go through training, stalwart defender could work.
Stalwart defender.
It's pretty what?
Like, not doesn't have to
Okay.
be good. But we're not having to have it.
I don't know enough about it to know if it's anything other than the initial thing possibly sounds like it might somewhat fit. So I take your suggestions greatly. Didn't realize he'd cause me this kind of problems.
Um,
Let me see what Stonebound dedication does.
Stonebound's right now. What
Well,
we
it gives me Orid. That's the only thing. But I
oh,
already am Orid.
doesn't. Doesn't give you.
Level 4 feat is that. Okay, there is a different one. Okay. Summon elemental.
Yeah. Do that, man. Getting an elemental friend sounds cool. You would get
Meld into stone.
You would get Plane of Earth
Okay, yeah,
lore.
we can do
You
that.
would get Terran language.
That one actually at least fits. Like that's the first one we found that actually can fit.
You get
The
hit
others are like,
points. Yeah, do Stonebound. You can always spec out of it later on, but Stonebound makes the most sense.
I don't see like any others that fit. We've literally gone through the list and like that one doesn't fit, that one doesn't fit, that one doesn't fit, that one doesn't fit, that one doesn't fit. Okay, what fits him? So yeah, no, I'm very good with that.
Sometimes is the issue of going free archetype because sometimes
Yep.
there's just not really anything that you want
Well, I
or
mean,
that fits to the story.
if we weren't caring for it to fit lore wise, it'd be a lot easier, right? We just pick something that's powerful, it works great power wise, and go with it. But that's not what we want. We want it to fit. And so, because of the desire for it to actually narratively and thematically fit, it caused that challenge. So, the last thing I have is the skill feat.
Yeah.
Is there a recommendation from you on that?
For Thurbal, probably something like Charming Liar or Contract Negotiator or Group Impression or any of those, like multilingual potentially.
I'm good with whatever
Any
you
of those
recommend.
like diplomacy things for him. Like those are all
Yeah.
like things that help us like with social. I think things that help us with social is really where
Yeah.
Thurball, because
Which,
like we don't have a social person
yeah,
outside of
that
Thurball.
is what Thurbold is the social guy. So, which one do you think would help us most socially? Contract negotiator is just use legal lore in place of diplomacy. Charming liar, I could see maybe because if you critically succeed using the lie action, the target's attitude improves.
Pretty good.
Maybe not. We should lie. He still might. I mean, that kind of fits him. Group one, I could see trying to do it with a group. I could see that being useful for us. I could give him
Take quick contacts.
for him.
Quick contacts allows you
Quick
with 1 day of downtime in a new settlement
contacts.
to use either of the connections or criminal connection feats for free without having them.
Ooh, yeah, that fits.
So
That'll be helpful.
you just spend some
Thank
time
you.
and then you can make connections quickly. That's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah,
I think
that's
we
a
need to
good
like,
call.
yeah. So I think
Buff
maybe
him up
that.
on that. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. What about for our friend Peter? Do you have anything you recommend for him? He can become a tattoo artist. Joking.
Um, for him,
I mean, we could do Magic Crafter if we want to have him be able to do that for us. Be able to do the rune enchanting so that we could just have runes.
yeah, the way we don't have to rely on finding people.
That's why I'm asking
Yeah,
that. I
do
just
that.
thought of that.
Magic crafting is
I mean, the crafting stuff fits him anyways.
yeah, do that. Make it
I'd
easy.
looked at quick repair at one point too, but I wanted to get your input.
Yeah, we don't have anything on us that really requires that. We don't have anyone using a shield.
Yeah, and that's why it's kind of like, so cool.
All right. Well, it's taken a little while, but
Yes, it did.
we got our characters. We had to choose dedications, which was most of that time. Um, I had to
Yep.
choose some spells and make sure that all of that was going. Um, so I think
It's
we're all
definitely
good.
going to help us what we did. It did take time, but we'd have to do it at some point. We shared with everyone our thought patterns so they understand why we chose what we did, what our choices are. So when they see them next session, they're not like, what's that? Where'd that come from? Why would we choose that? We can just be like, we did it with you.
Yeah, and we have noted for ourselves that Bip, the prophet here, has a part to play in Marigold's finding her proper spirit
Yeah.
familiar that um, needs to happen over time, a spirit guide that Mab has been leading her to eventually can happen anytime in the
Ooh.
next 2 levels, but it needs to happen before level 4.
You know what I just thought of?
Hmm.
What if one of the stories leads you to the place of the binding of the spirit or something like that? But other people don't know about this location because it's a hidden location and you have to know these old lore for it.
Yeah, I would love there to be like some sort of mini dungeon or area to get
Yeah.
through that we have to
I like
trek
that.
through to get to the thing. That would be cool.
I like that. I like that. Like story wise, right? And thematically, it sounds good. And that's what we're going for in this.
Yeah, and this spirit guide shouldn't be something that's just out there and like should be hidden. It should be secret. It should be
It's not
behind
wandering the land. Yeah.
yeah, something. It's captured, it's yeah, something's gone on to
Yeah.
keep it
I like
hidden.
that.
Yeah. So something to consider, not next session,
That
but
also
leading forward.
explains why FIP is needed because it's not common knowledge.
Right? So
FIP is one of the few who has this oral tradition that gives you the hint of where it's at. And so you
we
need him for that.
we do need to decide our final little bit here, even though
Yep.
we're way over time, but we do need to peg something for next week. What do we want for next week to do? What is our
Well, the
goal?
question is this: do we or do we not bind ourselves to secrecy with these people? How would Marigold, how would Skewer feel about that? We could use your help, but we must swear you to secrecy.
Be honest, neither of them are particularly fond of the idea, but they wouldn't be absolutely against it. Marigold has kept secrets before, but it's mostly been like to keep her patients safe, right? Like, for example, if a young girl got pregnant and forcibly or something, and she helped,
Right.
she wouldn't go blabbing about that. Like, she wouldn't.
Right.
But like, so I think if it was for the larger good or for the good of innocence, probably Marigold would be fine. Skewer probably wouldn't understand why it's important. He kind of talks about anything with anyone, and drinking buddies, kind of like soldier buddies. Why would anyone keep a secret? It's kind of probably his default thing. So he's probably a little. He wouldn't be against it, but he's probably going to be confused as to why there needs to be a secret. Or I would say that might make for fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
but that's his default. Why? I think he would understand.
Peter would be neutral. He's like, I'm here to help. I don't know why we need to be secretive, but
Right.
whatever. Right? Like, he's just like, I'm just here to do the thing. I don't know or I don't care. Not in a negative way, but
Thurbol's probably
and then
like,
Thurbold,
whatever.
I don't know what you mean. I always keep secrets. I'm never suspicious. Never. I never spill secrets for money.
Yeah, look, I think all of us probably want to help. All of us know that we need these people and the trade that they bring and all of the things that they do. So probably we would agree to it just to have that happen, because otherwise winter is coming and we're
because I
not going to be prepared.
right, and that's the thing. Like, I could see us agreeing, and if we don't agree, they would send us off to investigate and have a contact meet us to get the intel we get. Whereas if we do agree, I would see that they would bring us to the caverns, and we would find out that they're shape changers.
Do we need to find that out yet? Maybe we get sent off to go and find out more about the other clan and find out that they're shape changers. Bring it back to them and be like, "Oh, those guys are shape changers," and that might make for
Could
fun.
it's just it's possible that it's more highly probable we would find out going to the caves with them, right? And so it's a matter of secrecy that they would say things have to be kept because number one, they don't want everyone knowing where this caverns is, and number two, they don't want people knowing that they're shape changers, right?
Yeah,
So the secret's there kind of as a dual purpose, keep our secret. They don't say this is the secret. It's just those are the two secrets they don't want known.
yeah. In
So
some
we
ways,
don't have to necessarily find out about that.
yeah. I don't think we need it. I
Right.
think getting onto like the trail of the cult is probably a good idea.
Okay.
Um,
So then let's say that we tell them that we're going to work on investigating the cult. Well, they head to their caverns and they
Arrange a
give
meeting
us
spot.
yeah, they tell us where we can meet up with them to convey any information we find. And at that point, that would be when we would need to be sworn to secrecy instead of now, and that we might find out.
I think that that's
That makes sense.
better, and that means that I can set a couple of encounters um, around like
Um,
what might be stuff
yeah.
that the is around the cult, and I think that we want to delay outright attacking cult camp stuff, right? Like we're considering that that's probably
Yeah.
higher level.
We need to scout out the area, find out where they are, what they're doing, right? It's intel gathering. What is it? They're even their goals. Why are they messing with these guys? So I think it's more intel and reconnaissance than full blown assault and annihilate.
I've got some ideas then.
So it's probably like minor camps on the outskirts of their area that we'd be,
Checking
you
out.
know, smashing or finding rogue groups that are traveling to take out, not main camp assault.
Okay, sounds good. That gives us enough to go on for next week. So
Yep.
we will be back to action next week, heading out and exploring, getting information, fighting things. Thanks for bearing with us while we went through our
Yeah.
level up
We spot things at
process.
the beginning, and then things were amped up at the beginning. Then we slowed down mid, you know, most of the way through. And next session we'll be starting a little bit lower and then ramping back up.
So I'm going to find someone to raid out to, see who's about.
Our normal
Not
looks like they've gone off
many.
because we took too long.
The only one I see is Razim. They are
Well, if we want to
doing.
do someone who's doing Manor Lords instead, I see someone doing that. And what else do I see? There's a guy who's in your time zone doing some retro game. I don't know which game. Sonic. So I'm good with either of those options if you want. Or we can call it. It's up to you.
Anyone watching that wants to go particularly somewhere?
Pittsburgh. Lady at Matt in the Hat.
I think for me, you don't have to follow me. I think I'll just go to this tabletop RPG one. You don't have to follow. Feel free to go and support Jarl or whatever.
Do you know what those ones are doing?
Razim is doing Lost in Chaos Scar. Lost in Chaos. Old stories and creatures in alternate realities. Like
We can rate them. It's fine.
yeah, well, we'll go over here. I haven't been here, folks, so mileage may vary, but we like to go and share different RPGs that people might get some use out of. So we're going to do that. Pop us to the end screen. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you all for being here. Until next time, as always, enjoy the story.
Yep. After yourselves, guys. Kind to one another. Remember, always.